Hey everybody, I'm Mungo Dark Matter, and welcome to Dark Matters. Today on Dark Matters, I thought I'd show you how to play Hearthstone. Okay, we're going to start off here real simply. Right here there's a play button, and the play button actually takes you to online matches with other players who are online. We're going to go to Solo Adventures, where we're going to be playing against the machine itself, or against the software itself. This will make it easier to demonstrate. So let's go there now. You'll see we have practice here, and under practice we have normal and expert. We're going to go with normal. If you go to expert mode, the software or non-player opponent that you are playing is a little more skilled. With normal, it gives you more of a chance to win, particularly when you're learning. So we're going to choose that. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose the character we're going to play with. And I'm going to choose the mage in this case. Each one of these characters, or heroes they call them, have different attributes, different features, different talents. So each one has advantages and disadvantages, which you learn as you play. We won't really go into that in this video because this is just the basics. So we're going to choose this first. And then it gives us a chance to choose our opponent. And I am going to choose the hunter for my opponent. We're going to go play. Okay, I get an extra card because I'm going second. The player that goes first only gets 3 cards. Now, the machine automatically picks which player goes first, or randomly picks which player goes first. Now, if you look at this card, this is a standard minion card. These are the cards that go down on the table, as you will see. This jewel-looking thing up in the corner is how many mana crystals it takes to use this card. Each round, you get another mana crystal. So you start out in the first round with only 1 mana crystal. The second round you get 2. The third round you get 3, and so forth. So you can use multiple cards in the later rounds as long as you have enough crystals to use them. So you have to be aware of this number so you know how many cards you can use and what your alternatives are. Down here are the hit points of the card. This little thing with a dagger through it. This 2 right here. So if I use this card against something, it will deal 2 hit points against that other minion or the other card. And right down here in the right corner is a 7. That's kind of the health points. So it takes 7 hits. So either a card with 7 hit power or multiple cards going against this. So if I had one that had 4 and one that had 3, they could both go against this and take it out. Well, these other cards over here, those are also minion cards. This card right here, it says draw 2 cards. It costs 3 crystals to use it, but you can draw 2 more cards, and then you can use those cards. So if you get in the later rounds, you can draw 2 cards using this, and then you may be able to still use some of the cards you get. Or you can use it earlier, once you get at least 3 crystals, and kind of skip around and get a couple extra cards. Now, this is a pretty good hand. I would keep this normally when I went in, but I want to show you what you can do. You can get rid of any or all of these cards and have another card drawn for you. And the reason you might do that is, say this number was up around 7 or 6 or 5. You're not going to be able to use that until the 5th round. You can't use this one until the 4th round or until the 6th round, depending on what that number is. And if you got all higher cards, that means you can't use anything in round 1 and round 2. So for example here, we can't use these 2 cards before round 2, this one before round 3, and this one before round 4. So round 1, unless we are lucky and draw 1, which we could because we get another card once we start playing, we'd have to pass that round and wait until the next round when we have enough crystals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, to replace it. And when we confirm, it will replace that card. Like I said, we could replace all the cards, 2 of the cards, 3 of the cards, 1 of the cards, or none of the cards. So it just depends on what you feel the cards are worth, or how good the hand is, basically. So we're going to confirm. And see, we got a 1, so that was pretty good. You can't always count on getting a 1. Okay, so we have a bunch of 2s, a 3, a 1. And see this 0 right here? This is gain 1 mana crystal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up here. And that's going to give us another mana crystal only for this round, though. So that's kind of like a bonus. So now I can use any of the 2 cards. I can use this one there. Let's see what they are. This one has 3 hit points and 2 health. This one has 2 hit points and 3 health. So I'm going to go with this raptor, I think, to start with.
Job's done.
Then I'm going to click here to end my turn. And so it's the other side's turn. Now there's a couple of strategies you can go for. As we go through the rounds, you'll see minions. These are minion cards here and here. More will appear here, or the other player will try to put more down. You'll try to put more down. So one strategy you can do is to go after the minion cards before they build up to a whole bunch, because the more there are, the harder they are to get rid of and the more hit points they can go after. Or you can go after the hero. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go after the hero this time, because this is only 1 hit point and 1 health point, so it's pretty easy to get rid of. And this card right here has 3 hit points. So let's go for that. So now we're kind of ahead point-wise. But we still have our 2 mana crystals. Now you want to really look at all the cards and everything before you decide what to do and which ones to use the crystals on, because some cards will give you will do things to other cards. So like, for instance, let's see, deal 3 damage points randomly. This is not a minion card. This will just deal 3 points randomly between these 2 things, which is the one I think I'm going to use. It's only 1 point. And then I think I'm going to use this one, which is a minion card, and put it down. But I could, well, this is 3 points, so I can't use this one. But this one would draw 2 cards, and this other 2 would put another minion out there, but do nothing. So let's go with this one. So we're going to use this, and you see it dealt out those points randomly, and that was a pretty good move, because we used this to attack the hero. But when we did the random one, it took out this card and the hero too. So if we had just taken this card out, which was only required 1 point to get rid of it, it would have been a waste of this in this particular case. So we still have 1 crystal left, so I'm going to take this card and put it here.
Job's done.
Now this, once you set a minion down like this, this cannot be used until the next round. So it may be gone by the next round. So you've kind of got to plan ahead for that. Some of the cards that put down minions do other things. So some of the cards might actually strike at the hero or one of the other minions and put a card down. So let's end this turn and see what the opponent does. All right, so we're doing pretty good. Our opponent hasn't put down any more minion cards. They decided to go straight after us, which is a strategy you can use. But now we're in really good shape, because we can use these 2 minions and go directly after the hero on the other side. And in fact, that's pretty much all we can do with those 2. And we still have 3 crystals. And if we wanted to, we can use this by using 2 crystals, which is hero power, which will deal 1 damage. So that's a choice there too. So let's look. Deal 3 damage to a character and freeze it. Well, there's no character here to freeze right now, so can't really use that, or it would be a waste. This right here is just a minion card. So is that. This is the draw 2 cards. So we have draw 2 cards there. So we could use that and draw 2 cards if we wanted to. And we would get 2 more cards. Or what we could do is we could put down some more minions. But in this case, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use these minions first. So we've got it down to 20. And so all of these things are 2. We could draw 2 cards with that and use all of the stones. But I'm going to use this to show you how it works. Here's the hero power right here. And this is different depending on what type of character you have here. So I'm going to hit this, and I can go right at the hero. The nice thing about this also is you'll see, or hopefully we'll see in this, you can get something called a taint card, which is a shield. And these cards and everything have to hit that shield first, but with this hit, you can actually go right directly to the hero. And with certain things, you can go right directly to the hero, even if you have a taunt. Even if you have a taunt card up here. I think I said taint before. I meant taunt. So let's end this turn and see what happens.
Locked and loaded.
All right, so he went after one of my cards. Oh. So he got rid of both of my cards. That was pretty good. Okay, so we got a polymorph card here, which will turn a minion into a sheep. The advantage to that is if this had really high numbers, like really high health or really high hit points, I could use this to make it a 1 and a 1. So I would take its hit power. So I would take its hit power away, which would kind of nerf it. Or and I would also take its shield power away so I could get rid of it easily. So what shall we do? We've got 4 here, and we've got a bunch of 2s. So deal 3 damage and freeze a character. Now if we use this, it's going to just get rid of that character. So let's try that. It froze it, but it had enough to get rid of it. If it hadn't had enough to get rid of it, what would be left is a minion with reduced health that would be frozen, so it couldn't do anything the next move. Now that card is specific to like a mage hero, or so you won't get that with other characters, but other characters will have other things that the mage does not. So we still have 2 of these crystals left. So we could hit directly at this and take 2 points away from it if we'd like. Or we can put one of these up here. Now that has 3 health. That has 3 hit points. So let's go with this one.
Job's done.
Okay, now if I put this card down, it will put a minion down and it will draw a card. So I have 5 crystals here. So these 2 cards add up to 5. And I can draw 2 cards with this and put this card down, which would be better in this case than just putting this card down and drawing 1 card. And this card actually has, both more hit points and more shield points. So we're going to put this down. And then I'm going to use this to draw 2 cards. And we get a taunt. I probably should have used that first to draw that first, because it would have been nice to have the taunt card up here, which we'll see what that does in a minute. So I'm going to use this card, and I can either go directly after this and get rid of it, or I can go directly at that and reduce the points. In this case, I'm going to get rid of this card. So now that card can't hit us. So that was a defensive move.
Locked and loaded.
Now this is a taunt up here. You see it's shield shape. This means I have to go after this first and get rid of it before I can go after this or this. So it limits my choices, and it basically protects this card and it protects the hero. So what I'm going to do now is I have 6. So what can I do? I can deal 3 damage to the enemy hero with that. Now we're going to use this only because you'll see it will bypass the shield and go right up.
They'll never know what.
So we've got another minion down here, and we took points off of the enemy hero. Now, if I tried to do that with this,
Minion with taunt is in the way.
see, this minion's in the way. If I try to do it here,
Minion with taunt is in the way.
so I have to actually hit at this one first.
Job's done.
So now this is down to 1. I'm going to need to make 1 more hit to get it. Now, I should have probably put up my own taunt right here, but I did not, because I'm showing you how to play the game. So let's do the next turn. You can see all these minions are asleep now. But the next round they're going to wake up and they're going to be able to shoot a lot at us. So that's not good. So deal 4 damage to all enemy minions. This is an excellent card. And we have 7 crystals. So I'm going to use this one in this case because that will get rid of a lot of these things. See, if you add these up, 1 and 4 is 5, and 3 is 8, and 2 is 10, and 2 is 12. So if these all hit at me, it would take me down to 6. So we don't want that. So I'm going to use this. And I got rid of all the cards. So some of the characters actually have things that will wipe out a bunch of things at once. This particular character does. So that's one advantage of this character. Now I still have 4 hit points on here and 4 health points. I'm going to go to here.
Job's done.
Take 4 out on that. And then I'm going to end turn. Alright, so it's my turn again. This is deal 1 damage to all minions. There's only 1 minion now, so it pays to save those cards until later a lot of times, but it's only 1 damage, so it's not a big loss. If it were a lot more damage, like the other one was 3, we definitely want to save that. So we have 8. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the taunt up. Now the taunt is a shield, so they'll have to go after that first. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this polymorph thing. And I've nerfed that character. So I'm going to just, since this is 1 and 1, I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to hit this again.
Job's done.
Take 4 off of that. And that's the end of my turn. So, now some characters have healing cards or healing options. This character does not, so actually I think a mage can get some sort of healing spells, but I don't have any. A healer would actually have more, so would a paladin. So different characters have more healing and such, and some have less or none. So we have two things up here. And what I am going to do now, I have 9 crystals. So we've got, this is a 4. Deal 1 damage to all. This is just a regular, that's a 2. This one is draw a card. So I'm going to do this. This is only 2. I'm going to do this first. So we see what it is. Now this is excellent. We got a fireball here, which will take off 6, right? So I'm going to use this and go after the hero. It takes the hero down to 2. So now I still have 2 moves this round basically to go, because these 2 minions are still like ready to go, as we say. And so either one of these will take that out. And so I could also use any one of these. So like if I wanted to deal 1 damage to all minions, I could use that. And I could actually get rid of this.
This one's mine.
And we actually do need to get rid of this because it's a taunt, so we have to go to that first. So let's get rid of it. And now we have this left, and we can go directly to the hero and take it out. So we've defeated our enemy, and we've had a victory. So that's how you play Hearthstone. That gives you a basic idea of how to play the game and what the cards mean and how to use the cards and everything. There are a lot more advanced things and a lot more strategies that you can use, and they all depend on what character you're using, and you can learn that as you go along. But hopefully this tutorial will have given you enough information to start to play Hearthstone. I'm Mungo Dark Matter, and this has been Dark Matters, and whatever you do, enjoy playing video games. I will see you later.